Good morning. Welcome to episode 17 of the Old White Man Show. I call it the Old White Man Show because I'm old, I'm white, and I'm a man. Good news, LSU did not lose yesterday. That's because it didn't play. Next Saturday, they're going to meet Alabama in Alabama. And they're going to be heavily favored to lose. I'm betting on LSU in the point spread. I'm sending money to Vegas. I bet LSU on any given day could do much better than what they've been doing. So I'm betting LSU. If you notice, I got my mean green shirt on. That's because I graduated from the University of North Texas. You know, it's a long time ago. So I'm a mean green graduate, but I'm an LSU fan. You know, goes to say a little bit about that. I could have went to LSU. When I was in the 10th grade, I had to drop out of high school to help support my family. And the principal and the superintendent of the school area there, they came to my house one evening and they wanted me to come back to school. They offered me a full scholarship to LSUNO if I would come back and graduate because I was one of their higher ranked students at that time. And they put me on a work program where I can go to school in the morning and work in the evening and still support the family. I did that for another year, but then I just, I needed to work more, so I had to drop out of high school. But I could have been an LSU graduate, who knows? But I think UNT was a better deal, good academic school. So that being said, let's talk about what happened this last week on the election. It's hard to say that everybody who voted for President Trump lost and that everybody who voted for President Biden won. I think we're all entitled to our individual opinions and definitely our individual votes. But I do believe that something in this election was different than any other election in my lifetime. 4 years ago, the news media started a war on President Trump. 4 years ago, big tech started a war on President Trump. And for the past 4 years, the man's been constantly being bombarded by the news media and big tech. They controlled what was being put out there. They produced false information on their own. They took away the integrity of the press. They took away the right of what the people had to build these major companies, because now I see how they're using those companies for their only self-benefit. If you look at the last 4 years, look at the four big media companies, tech companies, how much they went up in value. It's all about money and power. It's not about you and what's right and what's wrong. It's all about money and power. Google, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, these people need to be broken up. They need to be punished for what they did. They need to be brought down and realize that they are there to serve mankind. They're not there for mankind to serve them. Our government, we need to stop feeding the media. ABC, Fox, CBS, NBC, all the major news channels, what they've done is wrong. These people is no longer news people. They're the spokesman for the channel media that's owned by big tech companies. You know, do I believe the election results? No, I don't. I don't believe that Vice President Biden and his running mate won the election. I think there was massive fraud, that was done. I won't accept the elections of the result. I don't have to accept them, you know. So all I got to do is just pay my taxes. And I'm going to pay the least taxes as possible. I'm going to pay the taxes that the Democrat says I need to pay by their tax laws. And, the next 4 years ain't going to bother me too much because I'm going to be sitting out there on my dock fishing, taking the boat out occasionally, drinking good beer, good tequila, good whiskey, have my girl next to me. Life will be good. I can only, with the Democrats in charge, I can only go up. In fact, I've already started raising rents on all my tenants to cover the cost, of what's going to happen with the Democratic thing. A lot of people thinks that, the Democrats is going to give them free stuff. No, they're not. There's nothing free. Someone has to pay for it. The question is who. And you're going to find out on the Democratic rule is that it's not being given to you free. They want you to stay in poverty so they can control you. They want you to be where you are so that they can control you. You people who came in here as children from Mexico 20 and 30 years ago, you DACA recipients, they're not going to make you citizens. They don't want you to be a citizen. They want you to be controlled. They want you to be dependent on them. Everything that they're going to do is going to make you more dependent on what they are. They're giving you a false message and you're buying it. And that's okay. I got lots of friends who's Biden supporters who believe that Trump was an evil, terrible person, and they're entitled to their opinions. But I gotta say, look who you're talking to. Look around. I got friends that think the coronavirus is really, really bad. It is bad, but it's nowhere near as bad as what the news media relates. And I think it's a virus that was probably produced in a laboratory. I think that Bill and Melinda Gates gladly gave money for this virus. They don't care if they kill 20,000 people, 200,000 people, or 20 million people. Their object is to depopulate the world. I think the world's too populated. That's what they want to be done. I think our Democratic Party joined in this stuff that was really wrong, and I hope that we can find out this is the fact and we can prosecute those who did it. They blamed it on Trump, and it's not on Trump. I think it's more on the Democratic National Committee. I really believe that. That's just what it is. We need to watch what's going on. We need to change our election system. I think that we need to have everybody having a proof of ID like Mexico. And furthermore, I think that everybody needs to be forced to vote. And if you don't vote, then you don't get any of your government privileges like your welfare stamps and all this other stuff that you get for free. Make it a requirement. You don't vote, you don't qualify. People should vote. We should hear everybody's vote should be counted. Unless you're dead. The person who voted in Detroit that died in 1823, God, you're a pretty good person. Your ghost is voting. The thousands of people who voted who's already dead in Detroit. Hundreds of thousands of people around the United States that voted because they was dead. I don't understand it. The people who's voted 4 or 5 times, right, because you received ballots at your house addressed to someone else and you filled them out and sent them in. It's not right. I think you need to vote in person. If you're voting by mail, it needs to be certified. It needs to be witnessed, and you need to put your thumbprint on it. Your fingerprint should be there. Use your fingerprint. We use it for everything else. You may as well use it to vote too. We should be able to see who's really winning the election instead of being controlled by someone who we don't know who they are. We don't know who's calling the shots no more. Is it the Democratic National Committee? Or are they really the Russians? Or are they the Chinese? Or are they the Belgians? I don't know. I don't know who's who. I do know this. That's all I got to do is sit down there, do some fishing, drink a good beer, have fun, and watch what's going on, and the truth will come out. I know that we need to follow the money to see where the money's going, and that's going to come out. The people who think that they won an election by doing what they did, now you stole your own freedom. You are permitting history to repeat itself, and history does repeat itself. The next thing they're going to be doing is going to come in and they're going to start taking away some of your privileges. A little here, a little there. Your constitutional rights will disappear. They're going to do stuff to you that they're going to say, this is the best for society. They're going to do a vaccine for a virus that really doesn't need a vaccine. They're going to do stuff to you, to control you, to change your life, and you're going to buy it. Because you're weak-minded enough, or you're old enough, or you got some other thing that you imagine is real and it's not real. Driving in today, I seen signs up on big buildings. Now hiring $15 an hour, minimum wage. In Texas, we got minimum wage already. It's not legal. You can pay people less. You can't find no one to work. When we hire people, I can't find no one at $15 an hour. I'm paying $20 an hour for, minimum wage workers. Sometimes I pay more than that. I pay my plumber more than I pay my doctor. And my minimum wage person is making more than my attorneys because we got so many attorneys. Everybody wanting to become an attorney, and they're not making $20 an hour. They're not making $15 an hour. Some of them are, but the majority of them is not. Times has changed. The world has changed. I'm saying we need more plumbers, we need more carpenters, we need more roofers, we need more cement people, we need more trades people. We need more mechanics. We need more people like this. We need to change the way we look at life. And all you little millenniums out there that's wearing these masks and these black outfits, you don't scare nobody. You're scaring Democrats who scared in Democratic cities. When you come to our city, when you come to our street, we will face you and do what we need to do. And the idea of self-defense is the idea of what you're trying to defend. If you're trying to defend our democracy, then the best way to defend a democracy is to eliminate the enemy. And you are the enemy, so you should be eliminated. All at one time, if possible. That's the justification. That's all the justification I need, is to eliminate you so you don't have a system. So when you come, don't think you're going to come and you're going to have rights, and privileges against people like me, because people like me don't understand that. We only understand the one thing, defeating the enemy and eliminating the enemy. We're not scared. We are ready and prepared. You're not going to take our guns away. You're not going to tax us out of everything. You're just going to throw a little fit. You can get a couple more nose rings, an ear ring, and a lip ring. You're going to act real stupid, but it's not going to impress anybody. There's lots of ex-Marines out there, a lot of Army guys, Navy guys, Air Force guys, Coast Guard guys, police people, and this good old fashioned rednecks who's going to stand up, and say, no, this is our country and we're not going to let you go too far. The politicians, you need to watch what you're doing because when America has enough, America had enough, and when you become the enemy, then you also need to be eliminated, and it can happen. People's thinking about this, it's crossing their minds, and you need to be aware that you are not, that protected. You are not above the law. You are what you're supposed to be to represent us. And when you start representing us, when you start representing the people, then you become the problem. That being said, I want everybody to calm down, to see what happens. The next 4 years there's going to be a ride, but when you get ready to act, do what you think you need to do. Don't be afraid. Do what you need to do. That being said, I'm signing off. Have a good week. Bye-bye.